Now, with more Canadians thinking about international travel, some Cuban-Canadian activists, they are urging travelers to stay away from that popular tourism spot. As Evan Dyer tells us, the activists say that tourism in Cuba is directly funding the Cuban military.
Canadians enter and leave Cuba at twice the rate of any other nationality, including Cubans themselves, which gives some idea of just how dominant they are in the Cuban tourist market. But something that many of those tourists may not be aware of is how dominant the Cuban military is in the Cuban tourist industry. And let's look at a picture here. This is General Luis Alberto Rodriguez Lopez Calleja. He is the son-in-law of Raul Castro, Fidel's younger brother and former president of Cuba, father of Raul Castro's two grandchildren. And he also administers a company called GAESA. GAESA is the holding company of the Cuban Revolutionary Armed Forces, and it is the largest operator and owner of 4- and 5-star hotel rooms in Cuba. But its role is set to get even bigger. Cuba has a plan to build 102,000 new hotel rooms by the year 2030, which is more than currently exists, for example, in the entire country of the Dominican Republic, which is currently the country in the Caribbean with the largest number of hotel rooms. Most of those rooms, 92,000, will be owned by GAESA, the military's holding company. And GAESA operates typically by signing management contracts with Western hotel companies to manage hotels that are owned by the Cuban military. The staff are also typically provided by GAESA through its employment agency, which collects money from the Western hotel management company, but keeps most of it and gives only a very small amount to the Cuban worker, maybe $50 a month or so. Of course, Cubans still compete for those jobs. Cuban engineers and doctors will even leave their jobs to go and work in the hotel industry because that pay is still better than what you get elsewhere in the Cuban economy. And in addition, can give access to hard currency tips from international tourists. But Cuban-Canadian activists are saying, nonetheless, this is a form of extreme exploitation. Most of the money that's generated by these workers is being kept increasingly by the Cuban army rather than by the Cuban civilian government. And the role of the army is only scheduled to grow as this Cuban tourism plan moves forward towards the year 2030. And so they would like Canadians who are thinking of booking that all-inclusive vacation in Varadero to think twice. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Chelsea, Quebec.